Hey everyone, I'm back. This is Lolly, and I did a part 1 showing me cutting up the materials to make this jumbo playing card journal. And I think I need to affix this to here and the pocket to the back, and then we can start punching our holes. So let's move all this aside. And here we go. So here we have the inside. And I am not sure what glue to try with this because it's so waxy. I think I might try the Fabri-Tac and see how that holds up. I still am hesitant to ever use tape on pockets because it never dries. It's always tacky. I figured if this doesn't hold, we can try something else, like maybe just go ahead and use a permanent glue. Okay, let's get that cinch out and let's start punching us some holes here. Okay, let's put these aside with all the papers. Now remember that our pages are 10 inches tall, but the cover is slightly larger than that, and probably 10 1/4. So this is a 10-inch strip. I like to practice around. I like to fold that in half and see where the center is, because there is a center mark right here, and I can line that up with the center mark and then move this in to test it. So let me get a bigger piece of paper. Okay, one that kind of reaches this here. Let's see if that lines up with my... There you go, that's pretty good. Let's push that all the way in there and test it out. Looks pretty good. Okay, now the covers, like I said, are a little bit bigger than that, so let's get all these pages done first, and then I will adjust the cinch to match the covers. Now, I can do several sheets of this at once. And after a while, I know I need to dump my holes out of there, otherwise it gets kind of jammed up. I'll give you a link down below to how to use the cinch machine. And if you don't have a cinch machine, which is probably the #1 question I get asked on these videos, if you don't have a cinch, just punch 2 or 3 holes, probably 3 given the dimensions of this card. And then you can put book rings in your holes. Now when it comes to something like this, we need to be careful. If we push it down, it would still work, but you might have like half of a notch on the top. So it depends on where you want this in the scheme of things. This actually, if I center this, would work just fine like that. Okay, and I need to think about this rickrack. I don't want to punch a hole in the rickrack if I can help it. Oh, that's perfect. One thing I did too since the last video was I put some washi, some bright colored washi on these tabs, and I really like it. And I did it on these as well. I put gold on the black. I think it really helps it to pop. Okay, and now to do this one, I want to put paper on it, and that will help me to get it punched out. So let's just line that up. Oops, that didn't work. Let's see if that will help. Oh, it punched beautifully. And they have a little bit of plastic to pull out, but other than that, it's punched well. Okay, now this card that I had done, I had glued and it didn't hold, so I sewed the two sides here. This one will get in the cinch, so that will be fine. Okay, now I want to adjust this a little bit to make room for these covers. And I know these are just a pinch bigger, so I'm going to slide this out a little bit and punch these covers out. This one's pretty thick. I'm hoping it's going to fit in there. I want to make sure that I punch them both going the same direction. It's kind of stuck in there. Okay, and sometimes this happens where something really thick and tough gets stuck in there. So I want to show you what I did. I pulled out this tray, turned it upside down, and then I poked something like these through each one of these holes to release it. Basically, it's just like the spring doesn't want to come back up because it's so tough. Okay, which I'm going to have the problem with this one because this one's even thicker. I'm not even sure I can get this one in there. I may have to, yeah, this pocket is going to have to get kind of glued on afterwards. Oops. In my effort to get these out, I pulled all these tabs out and I got to push them back in. And now I know that glue doesn't work, so I have to try something else. This is going to be a tough one. I made this too thick. Oh, that one came right out. Okay, but now I have to glue this back on. I think I'm going to have to use a permanent glue to get that. And I didn't mark this one right because I had the issue of I had moved this. So what I'm going to do is punch a new one of these out. Okay, so I've got a new one. And let's get that one punched out to match. Okay, alrighty. And I may have to break my rule about not using double-sided tape, or I could just use permanent glue on this, which I think I may have to do. Because of the nature of this, I'm going to just put a thin layer of this multi-grab 360. Oops. I'm just kind of smashing it down. And I'm going to let this dry. Let this set for like 30 seconds before I put the two of them together. More like 2 minutes. Okay, time's up on that. I paused the video and now I can put this together. I see that this is a little bit bigger than I need it, so I'm going to trim off this edge here. Okay. All right, now we need to get coils, and I'm looking at how thick this is, and I'm thinking maybe the 1-inch coil would work. So I need 12. I have 12 holes, so I need 12. There's the squared ends and the rounded ends. I need 12 rounded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I follow that over and cut off the squared end right flush with the left side here. And also cut off that little bit. Okay, now we lay the squared ends right in there. And I'm going to figure out how I want all this to go. This is the bottom, and I think I also need to glue this pocket on because that's regular glue. So now I'm going to move this so that we can actually see me assembling or putting these in the order that I want them to go, the pages. Okay. Oh, this one's holding on. Okay, so I have I want this to go in the back. no, I can't. This is too thick here. It's too wide to go in between two of the edges, so I'll have to put it down there. Okay. And this. So that's how it all is going to get assembled. Now I can bring this back up and I can put the wires on. So we take this and we take the back cover and we flip it over like this. And that is the order that the papers are going to go in here. So I'm taking off the from the bottom here. See by how chunky this is that I couldn't have gotten by with any of the rings that were less than an inch. I could have gone 1.25 inches maybe, and I still might have to once I get all this put together and see how chunky it's going to be. Turn this around and set this to 1 inch. Lay these against the back wall, flat. Okay, looks good. Pinch it a little bit extra. Now, many of you have asked, could I have just laminated these cards to make the covers instead of putting them on chipboard? Maybe, but you see this gap between these right now? I'm trying to close that in a little bit. That gap allows the cover to fall out, the back cover, which is why I try to pinch them shut a little bit, and I also like to make the back cover really thick. It stops it from falling out. So now, take that cover and swing it back, and that is the journal. So there you go. Oops. This didn't work. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's all right. I was confused at first when I saw the paper sticking up. I did make this so that the card tabs would be the same height as the paper would be. So that was my design. There's a little tuck spot here. Paper, tuck spot. Paper. And there's the cards right there, which we could take out and put different ones in if we wished. This is a pocket here. Paper. And we have this envelope here and the pockets on both of the covers. Okay, so now the next step would be I'm going to make at least one paper clip. For this, a charm maybe, and let's see what else we do if we do any cover decorations. This is all I'm going to stop from now and make hopefully one more video. Thank you for watching.